You cannot go anywhere in Canada anymore without seeing Palestinian flags all over the goddamn place. What has happened to this country? Do people not realize demographics are destiny? If we continue to allow hundreds of thousands of people every single year from the Middle East into this country, what exactly do you think Canada is going to look like in 30 years if these demographic trends continue? Do you have any idea what happens when countries become 30% Muslim, as we are on pace to do in the next 30 years? My God, wake the hell up, Canada. This country already in the past decade has transformed like you wouldn't believe. The number of fully masked people, you can only see the slits of their eyes from incredibly different civilizations who believe in Sharia law, who have laws in their countries that say that if a man is caught sleeping with another man, he's sentenced to a minimum 10 years in prison, where a woman is not allowed to leave the house either without a male escort or without written permission from another man, where if a law is so-called blasphemed against, you are sentenced to death in many cases. Do people not realize what's going on? Are people blind? My God, the threat not only Jews, but normal everyday Canadians are under is unprecedented. You can't go anywhere in a major city without seeing these mass thugs, foreign flags all over the place. Are we just gonna sit down and take this bullshit? Excuse my language, but it's shocking what's going on in this country. The takeover from foreigners, and I see very few Canadians standing. I do see some Canadians standing up to what's going on, but why exactly are we letting 100,000 people in from Afghanistan? How is that benefiting Canada? Please explain it to me. It's not racist, it's not xenophobic. It's a fact to say that disproportionately these people commit crimes they believe. Certainly no Western values. When you see things like Gays for Gaza signs up, you just have to laugh. Do you realize what would happen if you were in Gaza and you lived your lifestyle? Do you have any idea? You'd be thrown off it would not be pretty. Yet these woke far left ideological morons continue to allow these people into the country. 8 million people in a decade, and Canada's totally asleep at the wheel. I've been documenting, I've seen these up close. Don't believe the propaganda spewed out to you by CBC, CTV. These protests that are going on every single day in our major cities, they are not friendly. They burn Canadian flags. They yell the most vile things you've ever heard. And Canadians, I think if the vast majority of Canadians knew what was actually going on, they'd be pissed off as hell. But a lot of people just watch the propaganda on CBC, on CTV, and believe it's the truth. Trust me, I've been watching these protests up close for the past 2.5 years, every single goddamn day on our streets. These are not friendly. Of course, are there some peaceful people who are just worried about what's going on in the Middle East? Absolutely. But there's also a massive contingent of people who are wearing masks, who are threatening not only to Jews, but to anybody who's not fully on board with their cause, screaming the most vile things you've ever heard. Fake body bags on the street, fake blood on their hands, yelling Intifada from the river to the sea. And the connection they have with the far left is they're anti-West. You think that these people believe in free speech? Are you kidding me? The pillars of Western civilization, you think that they are compatible with Sharia law? Wake up, Canada. Demographics are destiny. I feel as though we're sleepwalking into the grave in this country. We need, on a per capita basis, we've allowed about 100 million people in if we were the United States in 2015. Are you kidding me? We need to do in Canada what the United States is doing. The primary responsibility of our government needs to be to the Canadian people, not to foreign interests. Do people not see how sold out we've been by the Liberal government over this past decade? Are you kidding me? Can anybody argue with a straight face that they're putting the Canadian people first? I didn't think so. Nobody can argue these guys are putting the Canadian people first. They're allowing immigrants in. They're offering $283 a day. Programs like the Rainbow Refugee Program pays for their first year in Canada. They're sending our money overseas for gender diverse rice. You should see the programs they're wasting our money on. Meanwhile, we have 2 million Canadians using food banks. Everyday life is becoming more and more unaffordable for everyday Canadians. And our government doesn't give a damn. Our government does not. Our government absolutely does not give a damn. They are selling us out every single day. Their primary responsibility is to the Canadian people, and that's the exact opposite of what we're getting. They hate us. Our government absolutely hates us. Mark Carney, direct quote from him. Muslim values are Canadian values. What type of WF Davos Brookfield Asset Management bullshit is this? Do you think John A. MacDonald, the founders of this country was founded on that type of crap? And these thugs in our street, I'm sick of it. I'm goddamn sick of it. I'm sick of not being able to walk on my street without somebody with a foreign flag yelling in my goddamn face. It's BS that we as Canadians need to put up with it. Intimidated on our own streets. Can you imagine if we Canadians showed up in the Middle East and started waving our flags and started yelling threats in their faces? You know what the hell would happen? But we're told if we say anything about it, you're a racist, you're a xenophobe. It's an absolute joke. The Canadian people need to wake up to what is going on and stand up. Stand up for your country. Enough of this crap. Enough being told if you want to put Canada first and you care about the Canadian people and your ancestors didn't die at Vimy Ridge, World War II, for this BS, which our ancestors absolutely did not. They'd be rolling over in their graves. That you're some sort of a racist or xenophobe. No, you're a proud Canadian. Stop being gaslit by these communist liberals. It's just a fucking joke. Please like, share, subscribe this video. Join, become a member if you're interested in supporting my work. Spreading the good message every day. If you're following on TikTok, make sure you're following YouTube, youtube.com/@FightForCanada2025. Because I'm at about 19k followers and the Canadian government is not a big fan of dissidents. We can take Canada back, absolutely. But we're gonna have to fight for it. Canadian patriots are gonna have to fight to take this country back.